in the heart of a bustling city restaurant, where the clatter of plates and the hum of conversations never seemed to end. A young waitress named Emily Harper fought through another grueling shift. Her hands shook as she balanced trays, her mind racing to keep up. But tonight, exhaustion won. "That's the second order you've messed up," the manager snapped, his words cutting like ice. Emily just nodded, whispering an apology, her dark hair falling loose from its ponytail, framing a face etched with quiet defeat. She didn't argue, she never did. But someone noticed, someone knew, pretending to be just another busboy named Alex. Little did the staff know, Alex was actually Ryan Thompson, the founder and CEO of Thompson Dining Group, a thriving chain of eateries spanning the coast. He'd gone undercover to see the real pulse of his business, to feel the grit behind the glamour. But what he found was her Emily, moving through the chaos with a grace born from hidden burdens, her smiles polite but distant, like she'd learned not to expect much from the world. As the night wound down and the lights dimmed, Ryan slipped back in to grab his forgotten keys. The place was empty, silent except for the faint hum of the fridge. That's when he saw her, curled up in a corner booth, fast asleep. Her apron still on, a smudge of sauce on her cheek, clutching a crumpled napkin like it was her only anchor. She looked so vulnerable, so worn down by life. He approached softly, but she murmured in her sleep, "Just a little longer. Don't let the fire go out." Beside her lay a worn notebook, pages filled with handwritten recipes, simple dishes labeled comfort for the weary heart, or flavors to mend what's broken. It hit him hard. In a world of polished menus and corporate deals, this felt raw, real. He didn't wake her. Instead, he draped his sweater over her shoulders and left quietly, his mind swirling with questions about the woman who gave so much, yet seemed to have so little. Emily had once dreamed big. At 25, she'd poured her soul into a cozy spot called Harper's Hearth with her partner, crafting meals that warmed hearts and drew locals from miles around. She was the magic behind the stove, blending spices with intuition, turning ordinary ingredients into memories. But trust shattered everything. He tricked her into signing away their shared dream, sold it off, and disappeared with the cash, leaving her with nothing but a box of old kitchen tools and a heart full of scars. Now, at 27, she served reheated specials in a chain spot, her talent buried under layers of survival. No one knew her story. She kept it locked away, offering kindness instead, slipping extra snacks to the hungry line cook, calming a frazzled coworker with a gentle word. Ryan saw it all. He watched her fix a ripped uniform for a colleague, share her lunch with the janitor who skipped meals. During a hectic rush, she stepped in without fanfare, steadying a new server's tray and whispering, "One step at a time, you've got this." Later, he told her, "You're the glue holding this place together." She shrugged with a faint smile. "Kindness is free, and sometimes it's all we've got." Those words lingered. Ryan knew lost too, jilted at the altar years ago by a fiancé who said he loved his empire more than her. He'd built walls ever since, focusing on success, but Emily cracked them. Her quiet strength, her unspoken pain, reminded him of the man he'd been before the boardrooms and betrayals. One stormy evening, the head cook called out sick, leaving the kitchen in disarray. Orders piled up, tempers flared. Emily didn't hesitate. She tied on an apron and dove in, her movements fluid, instinctive. She didn't measure. She felt the flavors come alive. Soon, bowls of creamy potato chowder with bacon crisps and fresh chives hit the tables. Diners paused mid-conversation, savoring each spoonful like it was a hug in a bowl. Ryan peeked in, lifted a lid, and the scent transported him back to childhood. Weekends at his aunt's cabin, where she'd simmer the same chowder on rainy days, saying, "This'll chase the chill from your bones and your worries." He turned to Emily, voice low. "How did you learn this?" She wiped her hands. "Just an old family trick." But he pressed gently, and she shared, "My grandma made it for us during tough times when Dad lost his job, or winters got too long." It was her way of saying things would get better. They shared a bowl in a quiet corner, as rain drummed on the windows. "What would you make if you had one meal left?" he asked. She thought, then said, "This chowder, it tastes like family, like holding on when everything slips away." He confessed his own memories, and in that moment, barriers melted. Not fireworks, but a soft glow of shared understanding. The rain worsened that night. Ryan locked up and spotted her at the bus stop, soaked and shivering, hugging her toolbox like a shield. "They evicted me," she admitted, voice barely above the downpour. He couldn't leave her there. "Come with me just for tonight. I've got a spare room, dry clothes, even a kitchen if you want to warm up. She hesitated, but his earnest plea won out. No strings, I promise. You deserve better than this storm. In his seldom used apartment, he fixed simple grilled cheese with tomato soup while she showered. They ate in silence at first, then opened up. Ever been in love? He asked. She nodded slowly. I thought so, but it was more about the dream we built than the person when he took it all. I questioned everything. Ryan shared his wedding day heartbreak, the empty aisle, the note that cut deep. She said I chose work over sand. Maybe she was right. Emily's eyes softened. Sometimes people leave because they're scared, but they miss out on the real thing. That night, vulnerability bridged their worlds, no grand gestures. Just two souls finding solace in honesty. A tough shift ended with everyone drained. Emily turned to Ryan. What if we whipped up something quick for the team? Just to lift spirits. He grinned. I'm in. Together they created a warm apple crisp with cinnamon oats and vanilla cream, simple, heartfelt. The aroma drew the crew in, and soon laughter replaced fatigue. This tastes like fall festivals back home, one said, as they leaned against the counter, sharing bites. Emily whispered, food reveals who we are when we make it together, no hiding. Ryan met her gaze. Then tonight, we're saying we're all a little broken, but still worth the warmth. But trust. Fractured again. Ryan entered Emily's chowder in a company showcase, thinking it'd spotlight her talent. Investors raved, timeless, comforting, a winner. Headlines credited him, the CEO unveiling his secret recipe. Emily saw it and felt the old wound reopen. She confronted him. Did you take it? His silence was answer enough. I trusted you, she said, tears welling. After losing my place once, I can't do this again. She left her apron a note. One betrayal was enough, and vanished into the night. Ryan's regret consumed him. He searched apartments, diners, even her old neighborhood. The landlord handed him her forgotten scarf, embroidered with her initials. It broke him. He penned a letter, packing it with a set of premium knives he'd saved for someone special. Emily, your chowder didn't just feed me, it healed a part of me I'd forgotten. I stole your light because I was afraid to share mine. You're not just a cook, you're a restorer of spirits. Use these tools to create again. The world needs your gift, and so do I. Days later, in a small-town cafe where a friend gave her refuge, the package arrived. Reading his words, tears flowed not from pain, but recognition. Someone saw her fully. She gripped the knives, whispering, okay, time to start over. A local fundraiser for storm victims needed a chef. Emily stepped up, her first public gig in ages. At the event, a sign read Emily's Comfort Corner, meals for new beginnings. Then she saw him, Ryan, no disguise, approaching with hope. I made sure they knew this is yours, he said. In front of the crowd he spoke. I thought business was everything until Emily showed me food is about heart, about rising from ashes. I love her for her strength, her kindness, for believing in me when I couldn't. Tears in her eyes, she replied, I love you too, Ryan. You helped me reclaim my fire. They embraced amid cheers, to hearts finally home. Today, Emily's Corner thrives, a warm spot with soulful dishes and stories shared over coffee. Ryan's there nightly, not as boss, but partner, cherishing the quiet joys. One evening, under the stars, she asked, last meal ever, what's yours? He smiled. Whatever you make, as long as we're together. Life's twists can shatter us, but in the embers of loss, we find sparks of renewal. If you've ever felt broken, remember, kindness, trust, and a shared meal can rebuild anything. Hold on to your fire, second chances are waiting, and they're worth every bite.